day 3 of our cruise, and on this fine summer day, Henry, dressed appropriately, is just going to untie the boat. Could you get any more clothes on?
Unfortunately. Yeah, once I've untied, I'm going back to bed. Get warm.
I can guarantee you by the second lock, half of those clothes will be coming off. So today, it's another day of a lot of locks, not many miles, but we should find a water point. And apparently there's a house up here that sells garden produce and plants, which I always find rather exciting. Bummer, we've only gone half an hour in one lock, and it looks like there's a tree down over the canal. Let's go and have a look. Looks like that must have come down with all the heavy rain we've had, and luckily it's missed any boats, thank God. Well, we've rung CRT. I don't think they knew about it, so we're just going to have to wait now. It looks like it's going to be an all-day job. They can't say when somebody will be able to come out, but they're obviously going to get somebody out as quick as they can, so it's just a question of waiting now. So, early breakfast for us. So while we're stuck on the canal with the tree down, we're taking the opportunity, well, Henry is, to try to fix our freezer lid. The seal's gone, and rather than buy a new freezer, we've bought a generic seal, and Henry's figuring out
How to fix it. How the generic bit works.
How's it going?
Well, I've got the old one out. It doesn't seem to have a lot of, it's sort of flattened really. It hasn't got much resistance to the lid, so not sure how efficient that is.
Does it look like it's going to work?
Well, that's the surface that would now be forming the seal. Well, I guess it will. However, so I can try it and put it all in, and if it probably won't be worse than that, but I can always put that one back in.
Right. The thing is, the seal cost, I don't know, 50 quid, wasn't it, by the time we bought the glue?
Yeah.
And a new one is only 150, but if it works with a new seal, I'd much rather upcycle. Otherwise it's another piece of equipment to get rid of, isn't it? And
Yeah.
add to the pile of landfill. Well, we're 5.5 hours later, and there's lots of boats coming up that way. Marooned in the lock, and there's a lot of boats on the other side of the tree. Everybody's rung CRT, but no sign of anyone yet. All done?
Yeah, I think so. Tight it back.
Well, we'll know in the morning, won't we?
Sucking it off a bit at the back.
Well, it's 5:10, so nothing's going to be happening today. There's been lots of people ringing CRT, so we've got a half promise that some contractors will be out at 8 in the morning. So we'll hope that that does happen. Meanwhile, we took a cycle into Hemel Hempstead, which is just a generic town really, which is a shame, but it is really nice along the canal. And I did find a bargain. B&Q are selling these amazing hydrangeas. so I got it into my bike pannier and cycled very carefully back with it. So I'm happy. Well, it's 10:30 the next morning and we're all still here. And yesterday was spent by all the various boaters around, especially the two in the lock behind me, contacting the Canal and River Trust and letting them know, or asking them when anything was going to happen. And they assured us, first of all, that it was going to be cleared yesterday and then somebody would be here at 8 this morning. Needless to say, they weren't. And then about an hour ago, so it's 10:30 now, about 9:30, 3 CRT chaps came down and they'd only been told about it this morning. And they said that they would have been able to clear it yesterday if they'd known. Nobody told them. So God knows what was going on there. But in a way, it's been quite nice because we've had a chance to catch up with some local boaters around. Hi to Dan, who we met, who's down the other side of the lock. The two boats behind in the lock are trad boats. They've just been down for a historic boat thing at Limehouse, and in fact we met them when we were at Victoria Park, and they were saying that they feel that the London and the South East canals are served very badly. There's less traffic moving around here because there's more liverboards down here. They don't feel that it's kept so well. They don't come down here so often. So all that sort of stuff really. I don't know the ins and outs of it. There are a lot of liverboards down here, but that's fine. But they're not impressed. In fact, they're furious because one of them is on a board and knows some people high up, and she was speaking to them yesterday, but it didn't get anything done, so it's not always who you know. Anyway, we are waiting for the contractors to come and get rid of the tree. I'm intrigued to see how they're going to do it, because I was told last night that a barge would come up and go underneath the tree and sort of cut it in half, but they said that's not how it will be done, so I shall film that when they arrive. 5 minutes later, and the contractors have turned up. So they're going to launch out in that little boat and we'll see how they're going to cut it. And they started. Ooh.
It's creaking. It's moving.
What, the main stem?
Something going on.
That's frustrating. Oop.
Don't talk to him.
He said they'd like to do it all out the road, and if they get to the point where it's okay, then let us know.
Oh, fantastic. Woo. And with that, the tree is down and we're good to go. We've let the trad pair in the lock behind us go first because it's better to let 2 boats into a lock than one. But we're heading off now before the traffic jam behind us comes up. Wow. Imagine a tree in your fender. Buddlier it is, isn't it? Fabulous. And then, as luck would have it, we passed a boat selling leather goods, and H has been looking for a windlass holder for a while. That was perfect. We were just looking for one of these, so
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, just turn it on.
Cool. There you go.
Try it.
One of those nice plastic tenors.
Lovely.
Thank you very much. Glad we found you.
That's a very cool.
Well, that's the end of a long day. Lots of locks, hardly any miles again. And after freeing ourselves from that tree this morning, we've been behind a whole crowd of crabby people. So we just let them all go on ahead because they can stress without us. So anyway, we found a nice couple to come up the last half a dozen locks with, and we've cruised on into the evening, which we don't do normally, but we found a lovely spot just the other side of Hemel Hempstead, and it's really nice around here. And we've got a nice haggis cooked for dinner. Thank you, Makiko. And we're going to sit and enjoy it and chill out, and tomorrow is another day. So we've just started off again on a fresh bright morning, and we've got to the second lock and we can't lift the boat. It's stuck in there because this pound is very low. So I'm going to walk up to the next lock and see if I can let some water through. Oh, well, that's not good news because this lock is already empty. So I'm going to have to open the paddles there and there and send water down. I was hoping this lock would be full and I could send that amount down. Well, we'll see what happens. I'll open the ground paddle and I'm sending water through and out through that gate. I am worried about the boats up here. Well, I've run back to the boat, got my bike, changed my trousers because flares are not a good idea on a wet day. Managed to get Henry afloat, and the boats on the other side are not tipping up, thank God. So, took a little while to do all that, but we're good to go now. Well, after all that, the day is much improved. We've got a couple behind us, Matthew and Hannah, who asked to buddy up with us, and we've done about 11 locks with them, up to Cow Roast and on. We were going to stop at a pub here, the Valiant Trooper, because it had really good reviews and it did cream teas, but it's permanently closed. Another victim of the pandemic, I suppose. So they want to get on because Matthew has to get back to do a job in a few days' time, and there's another 7 locks coming up in quick succession, so we might as well do it with them, which will mean probably our record amount of locks in one day. The water up here has been really problematic. We've had to let water down from a few locks, and CRT have been out as well running water through, so it's obviously a problem at the moment. But now we're up at the top of the summit in the Chilterns and coming down. Well, that's it for now on this video. We've left Matthew and Hannah behind chainsawing logs, and we continue wending our way northwards. So see you on the next video. Bye for now.